This review of Sonic 3D Blast may contain spoilers and coarse language. If neither of those bother you, then have fun watching this review. Oh goody goody, do I get to play a good Sonic game? No. No, I'm not. I mean, you heard the disclaimer, I'm playing Sonic 3D Blast. You know, it could be worse. I mean, I could be playing like a really bad Sonic game. I mean, like, this game isn't really even that bad. It's just kinda, It's just, I mean, I'll go into detail, but it's just, Sonic 3D Blast starts out with informing you about flickies, interdimensional creatures that can jump between dimensions using rings. And Robotnik's all like, dude, yeah, I want some of that. Sonic decides to visit Flicky's island for a bit, and he's like, whoa, looks like my friends are way past robots. So he blows them up, and he's like, whoa, looks like I gotta way past save you. And that's, there you go. Sonic 3D Blast's main gimmick is that Sonic has to save the flickies that are trapped in the robots. When he saves them, he goes to a ring, throws them all in, and he just rinse and repeats. Concept like that is so simple it has to work. Right? Every time Sonic gets hit, he loses flickies along with rings, so you have to recollect flickies and stuff, and it's just, why? Why is that there? Also, every time you save a flicky and then lose them and you don't know where they are, you just... There's flaws. There's big-time flaws with the flicky system. Big time. It's annoying. Also, sometimes flickies can get stuck in spots where Sonic can't actually go, and it's great when you just see them existing there, and you're just like, why aren't you with me? Get in the pod, you damn bird! Another great thing that 3D Blast adds is that Sonic's last adventure was in a butter factory. And that's the only explanation I could use to say that Sonic has no friction. Sonic does not brake as well as he did in his other games. In fact, controlling him just from a standpoint is really aggravating. His acceleration's too high and he has absolutely no friction for turning. It's a mess. However, I still was able to get used to it. So that does mean that the controls do have some weight to them, because if you can't get used to them, they're garbage. Sonic can pick up 3 different shields though. He can pick up a standard plain blue one, a red one which protects him from fire attacks, but he can also pick up this orange one which lets him homing attack onto enemies. Do yourself a favor and try to keep the orange one. The boss battles in Sonic 3D Blast though are actually not that bad. I kind of have a lot of fun when I'm fighting Robotnik in these. I don't really like the controls that comes with it, but some of the bosses are actually kind of creative, and I do have a lot of fun playing with them. You also get the fantastic special stages. And by that I mean they're like really fucking piss easy. You have to find Tails and Knuckles in Sonic 3D Blast, and when you come up to them, you give them rings. If you give them 50, they take you to the special stage. And for every multiple of 50, you can go back there and such. Now, the special stages though, oh, yeah. Wow. Well, I think in some cases people might get motion sickness from these. I didn't, luckily enough. And as I said, they're also really, really easy. Really easy. It is so easy to get all the Chaos Emeralds in this game. No joke. It is so easy to get them. The level design, too, is actually not that bad. There aren't really that many moments to me that says, ah! Except for this part. Ah! One of the things I do like, though, is that Sonic 3D Blast still, even though it's pseudo 3D, still tries to put in slopes and slope physics, which is awesome. It still kind of feels like a Sonic game, even though it's an isometric 2D and not fun game. So, Oddly enough, at the end of the game, the developers decided to try and make the game a little bit more fun. Instead, Sonic is finding flickies outside of robots, so when you destroy them, you don't have to collect anything because there's no flickies in them. And then at the second level, there's absolutely no flickies to collect at all. And when you play those stages, you realize Sonic 3D Blast would have been a better game if it didn't have flickies. Doesn't say the controls by any means, but it still would show that, hey, there's some pretty good level design in here, and when it's made to be like a Sonic game, it's pretty damn good. But overall, the level design is just fine. There's not really that much wrong with it, aside from this fucking part, as I just said, but it's still okay. It does the job. I think it's fine level design. One of the cooler things about Sonic 3D Blast is that it uses the same kind of technology that Donkey Kong Country had to render three-dimensional graphics in a two-dimensional game. And what does that do? It makes Sonic 3D Blast look like a very colorful and fun-looking environment. A lot of the stages are really fun to look around in. In fact, even though the tile sets are used for where the play area is, outside of that, the game does look really cool. But did I mention the music yet? Oh my god, this soundtrack. The sound effects do the job, except I think the ring is like in a lower compression tone or something. Man, the music in this game is just so good. I love how some of it was remixed in Sonic Adventure, but a lot of the other original tracks are just fantastic. I absolutely love the soundtrack for this game. It's one of my favorites in the Sonic series, but man, oh man, this is some good stuff. Do yourself a favor and try to look at the soundtrack. My personal favorite in the game, Spring Stadium Act 2. Ah, this is so carnival, I love it! That's some good shit. I love it. So now that we pretty much got everything covered here, what would I like to change? Well, for starters, let's address how weird it looks when I'm playing this game, because the controls really suck. A simple solution would obviously be to turn down Sonic's acceleration and max speed when he's running on the ground. That way you have to use slopes to increase your speed. Plus, I think Sonic could benefit greatly if, you know, he had friction. You just bounce around everywhere in this game, it's crazy! Another really crappy thing would have to be the flickies. A lot of the game's problems come from them. You lose them when you get hit, you have to find them if you lose them, you have to find them in the first place. It really can get annoying. If only there was some sort of radar in which you could find the flickies to make it a little bit easier on yourself. So, what is Sonic 3D Blast? It's actually an alright game, it's just okay. The controls are really sour, and honestly, the make or break deal comes with them. If you can get used to them, the game just becomes okay. I was kind of able to get used to the controls, but hey, everyone's not the same. The flickies are also probably going to bug you, especially with how many times you can get hit in this game. The graphics and music are really nice though, but the rest of the game is just okay. It's an okay game. It's okay. You want to play it? It's okay. I mean, you'll play it and you'll be like, oh, this is okay. I mean, like at first you'll be like, but when you look around and listen to it, it's like, oh, this is okay. It's just okay. There's really not a better word to actually sum up Sonic 3D Blast than just okay. Because that's literally what it is. There's some good stuff about it, and there's some bad stuff about it, and overall it's just okay. So if you want to play something that's just okay, give it a shot. Also, if you know anybody that calls this Flicky's Island, make fun of them. It's hilarious. They get so mad.